What's going on? Scouts 311 back with some more NBA action with the Bulls going up against Sacramento after losing a tough one to OKC. As you see, Sacramento's 3-2 as long as the Bulls are 3-2. So let's get going. The other thing I'm doing on this one, and let me know if it bothers anybody who's watching this, I was uploading at 1080p, and I'm going to try to do this one at 720. I know 1080 is obviously nicer, but it takes up a lot of space on my hard drive and a long time to render.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, fans. Let's get live on a Saturday night. It'll be Tyreke Evans and the Sacramento Kings facing off against Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. And we're ready for tip-off in Chicago. Kevin Harlan and the crew with a call.
So like I said, let me know, if it really bothers you that it's 720 and not 1080. I'm not really sure who watches it. The Kings are 3-3, it looks like.
Here in Chicago, and we've got it right here for you on 2K Sports.
They had a game since the last time I looked, since we simulated. So they're 3-3. Bulls are 3-2.
They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
It seemed like they were settling for desperation threes in that game so often. No surprise why their three-point percentage was so low.
Well, I'm not against the three-point shot. I mean, it's just disheartening when you see teams shoot it at all costs. I mean, bad ones, forced ones. I mean, a good three-point shot is what you want, and they didn't get enough of those.
And now the State Farm starting lineup. Here's a look at the Sacramento Kings. Evans and Thornton in the backcourt. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Hickson, and it's Salmons in at the small forward. And for Chicago, Rose and Deng on the floor. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah, they're inside. And it's Hamilton in at the shooting guard position.
All right, let's get this going.
Evans picks him up. Right side Rose. Over Evans. Rose, no good.
You look at the stats last year for Rose. Just unbelievable as he established the Bulls as his team.
There you go, Noah. It's a D, baby.
And they're on the break. Rose kicks to Deng.
And the foul.
He draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Heads-up play, preventing the easy lay-in.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he saw it was a free layup, didn't want to give that up, so he fouled him the fourth free throw.
Yeah, Clark can go back to Rose, 25 points and almost 8 assists a game for him.
Well, Clark, I'll take this one if you don't mind. But, Rose's field goal percentage dipped a little bit, but remember, he was taking about 4 more three-pointers per game. And I think Rose has to take so many of the late shot clock attempts for the Bulls because they don't have a second option who can create his own shot. So that's why sometimes those field goal percentages can be a little misleading.
The turnaround. Hickson with the bucket. Here's Rose. He's coming off a 28-point game against Oklahoma City. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Keith Smart gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. This will be their first game of the season against Chicago, but his memories of last year are still
nice
pretty
pick.
fresh in his mind.
Screwed the shot up.
The difficult task of trying to defend Bulls superstar Derrick Rose. He said Rose can't score if he doesn't have the ball, so that's the priority. Deny him the basketball, limit his touches, and force them to look for other options. Probably easier said than done.
I like that play. I'll run it one more time. Probably won't be as open. It was wide open off that screen. It's wide open again.
Their fans,
there we go.
Some former players. How about the mayor of Sacramento, former NBA All-Star Kevin Johnson?
Evans kicks to Cousins. Kicks to Salmons.
I'm not sure really much on Sacramento, so I don't know who to D up.
By Deng. Just 5 on the clock. Salmons dishes to Thornton. And Luol Deng pulls it down. Kevin Johnson, you're right, Clark. He was a terrific leader in the NBA. He's been a terrific leader in Northern California. Steve, if there's one guy that can push this through, it's probably KJ.
Yeah, they still need a long-term stadium solution, Kevin, in Sacramento. But
All-star Luol Deng in the real world.
Also, the Sacramento Kings organization.
Most deserved of it. Should have got it on the All-Star team last year.
In the city for the time being, and let's hope they can find a long-term solution.
Here's Evans. Following the score by Luol Deng.
There we go. Noah.
No good from Cousins.
Now you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Challenging shots and making his presence felt around the rim, that's exactly what he can give you.
The Kings trailing. This their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
Well, it's the East versus the West tonight. The first of just two contests that they'll have against each other all year.
Evans passes to Cousins. He dishes it to Thornton. No good from outside. And so here is Chicago. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Yeah, you knew when the game went into overtime that they were in trouble because they had the game in regulation, just couldn't finish it off.
You know, sometimes the adrenaline kicks in that case and carries you those extra few minutes, but not that time.
And here is Thornton after the 3 moments ago from Luol Deng. Throws up the alley-oop.
Oh, nice alley-oop.
Wonderful unspoken communication that time between two teammates.
Boy, Steve, the timing was ideal.
Well, a difficult play made to look easy.
Outside Rose. Pass to Deng. Here's Noah. High quality look, and he sinks it. Noah's got his first bucket of the night. Steve mentioned that they'll only face each other twice, Clark. What impact does that have on this game?
Well, first, Kevin, I think it means that we'll probably see our share of in-game adjustments. I mean, since they won't have a very good feel for each other coming into the game, they'll have to be flexible on the fly.
Here's Evans after the made shot from Joakim Noah. And here's Thornton outside. No good. Hamilton with some nice D. Here's the break on the wing Deng. There's the three. Can't get it to go. And it's Sacramento going the other way.
And last year I thought was a tough season for Tyreke Evans. He was the reigning Rookie of the Year, but had a number of foot injuries, caused him to miss almost 30 games. And when he did play, he struggled with his shot, only 42% from the field.
Now, here's Salmons. He really had an off night against the Timberwolves, never really got into rhythm. Over Rose. Salmons, no luck.
And Steve, you know it's always tough when you're dealing with injuries, but I think also when you've been the Rookie of the Year and you come into that second year, teams are geared up to make you do things you're not comfortable doing. But I think more than anything, it was the injuries that set Tyreke Evans back a bit.
Rose, that's good.
I love how relentless he is. I mean, he just continues to come at you all night.
There we go. Got that timeout.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah. Steve, you like Groove, don't you?
I do. I love Groove, Kevin. And I love the attack mode this team is in, too. I mean, they're really getting into the paint. They're getting whatever they want offensively.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
I think you knew the Bulls were geared up for a deep postseason run last year. And after the regular season, I don't think they disappointed at all.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. And it's Butler in for Luol Deng. Then for the Kings, Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Hickson. And Thomas subbed in for Tyreke Evans. Backing down is Cousins. Back to Thomas, moving the ball. On the wing, Salmons, defended by Butler. Salmons against Butler. Fires from deep.
And they keep waiting to the very end of the shot clock.
Getting back to the Bulls, anytime you top 60 wins under the top seed in the league, you know, you're expected to do, Steve, some pretty big things come the postseason.
And getting to the Eastern Conference Finals was fantastic for Chicago, but now the honeymoon's over. Now the expectations will be high, and anything less than a trip to the finals
Ooh, Noah's on fire.
Viewed as a failure by the fans.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
He kicks it to Cousins. Over Noah. And that's good. What a shot that time. Cousins has got his first points in this one.
Oh, how you made that crap.
First quarter is in the books. Bulls lead by 7.
Yeah, this team is on the same page, no question. They're right where they need to be offensively.
And they're hitting their scores with on-time and on-target passes, too. That's fun to watch.
Don't go away. Back in just a moment.
Next Wednesday, the Los Angeles Clippers go up against Manu Ginobili and the San Antonio Spurs. Live from San Antonio. Don't miss it.
second quarter getting ready to start up.
All right, let's keep this pressure on. We're up.
Here's Evans. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Minnesota. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Chicago right now, it's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and 5. Lonnie Brewer out there with Watson, and it's Butler in at the 3.
Thibodeau really connected with the players on the Bulls roster early on. I mean, Derrick Rose attributed the huge jump in his game and what he made defensively to the coaching of Tom Thibodeau.
Now here's Butler.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Stolen by Cousins.
Tough entry pass there. Too much traffic in the lane.
Fredette.
What happened? Why does Fredette have black arms? It's kind of weird.
And that one falls for Fredette.
Okay.
And so he makes both from the line.
These black arms.
Here is Watson.
That's pretty funny.
Evans picks him up for 3. Watson's shot is good. Watson's got his first 3 points of the game. Well, Clark, and it just wasn't Rose, as you mentioned. I mean, the whole team bought into his coaching philosophy. And Steve, you've always said, and Clark has too, that when the best player follows, everybody else will follow that best player.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, when Derrick Rose is buying in and believing in what the coach is selling, it's easy for everybody else to jump on board. And when that happens, you really gain a lot of momentum as an organization.
So it's Sacramento now. The Bulls knocking down the 3. Evans inside. He's covered by Watson. Watson gets called for the reach. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Now it's 2 fouls now here in the first half, so we'll see if they let him try to play through.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Noah. Deng comes in for Butler. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Then for the Kings, J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Cousins. Thornton comes in for Fredette. And Thomas subbed in for Tyreek Evans.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Gibson inside. It's stolen by Hickson.
He did not respond well at all to that double team. Just panicked and threw a bad pass.
Straight up. Hayes, no good.
Well, the Bulls played lockdown defense last season under their coach, Tom Thibodeau, who has been a renowned defensive coach over the years. In fact, Chicago was #1 in the league in opponents' field goal percentage.
Fades away. And it's Boozer that time in the assist by Deng. Here's Thomas. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked. Really strong and together.
That was Boozer, all right.
Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Old school, old-fashioned, one-hand power jam.
Just like you, Clark, tried and true.
That's all he needed to do. Just taking care of business out there.
And Steve, that D you mentioned for the Bulls, a lot of that, I think goes to Coach Tom Thibodeau, who Clark was a long-time assistant in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's why they brought him on board, I think, Kevin. I mean, he's a defensive guru, has been since he's been in the league, and I think the results speak for themselves.
Here is Brewer. The Kings getting the bucket. Outside Deng. 6 to shoot.
Come on, Derek, get off that screen.
There's the pick. From deep, Rose. Rose with another miss.
I think he's been fighting his shot a little bit. He's not getting many of them to drop right now.
Oh, nice pass. Damn.
The bucket. Now it's just a 3-point Bulls lead.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I mean, I don't think there's another option.
Now, here's Brewer. Takes the 3. Gathers.
There we go.
By Boozer.
Yeah, he's a fight-battler, guys. I mean, always has been.
Well, that's vintage, Clark. You're right. Strong offensive rebound leads right into the slam.
Yeah, that's his identity. He's an energy player who's always going to bring it every night.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
Well, last year in the West, Sacramento had the worst record against the East than any team in the Western Conference. So 9-21, they really struggled.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gibson. Hamilton comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose. Now here's Evans, looking for his first bucket of the game. Goes up the baseline. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Booser's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Back to the Kings overall, Steve, as you said, 9-21 against the East. They were getting trounced outside Clark, the Western Conference.
They're a young team, though, and they'll figure it out eventually. I mean, they've got some decent young talent there, Kevin. I think they've got the ingredients now. It's a matter of growth and development.
Man,
and
giving up a lot, coming back.
It takes time. Salmon's in his first full year with the Bucks couldn't match his play from the year before.
They get a hand on it. Hamilton outside. Outside Deng. Three-pointer. That is good. Deng's got 2
Deng's on
points.
fire.
Steve, going back to Salmons, he saw his field goal percentage drop to 42% last year.
Well, he was due in large part because of the start of the season. He got off to a really, really difficult beginning, shooting under 40% for the first 3 months.
Get out, says Noah.
Strong, though. So hopefully he can build on that this season.
As tight as this game is, you have to like their chances the way they've been rebounding.
They have a pretty good margin in that department, so they've got to continue to hit the boards hard. It'll pay off for them in the end.
Evans kicks to Hickson. The feed to Cousins. There's the triple. Salmon's no luck. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
You've got to time up the clock, and it's easier said than done. You've got to execute your offense on that first possession.
A recipe for disaster, Kevin, is letting him get that free near the basket.
And here's Evans. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Thornton dishes to Evans. Back to Thornton. Wide open look. Chicago grabs the miss. Noah's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
They really need to start looking elsewhere, guys, because he can't get anything to go.
Deng passes to Noah.
Damn it.
And now, courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here are the teams that led the NBA in block shots last year. Number 5, the Bulls.
Yeah, so much of their defense revolved around their ability to block shots in the low post. That's why their numbers were so good last season.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Don't go away. We'll see.
The night is young, and we've got the NBA.
60%.
At Time Warner Cable Arena, the
50% from downtown.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Here's Salmons on the court for Sacramento. Evans and Thornton in the backcourt. Hickson is out there with Salmons, and it's Cousins in at the 5 spot. Evans against Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Releases from 15. Shot's good. Evans has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Kings.
Seeing the Bulls here, they were just absolutely terrific against the Western Conference last year, and I don't think that should be a surprise at all.
Oh, come on.
The Kings trailed by 5. From deep, Thornton. The rebound by Noah. Noah's got his 5th rebound in this one. Like you mentioned, the Bulls in the West, Steve, they were 23-7 against the conference. Very good numbers.
That was the best mark of any team in the East. 3 more wins than the Heat, who came in second with 20. Well, after that great rookie year a couple seasons ago, Marcus Thornton struggled a bit as a sophomore with the Hornets. He was then traded to Sacramento at the deadline and really exploded, scoring a lot of points in the last couple months of the year.
Second free throw, no good. Back to Thornton, you have to like his outlook as he was able to fill it up after the trade.
Well, he erupted for 42 points in the game and had multiple 30-plus point games. So not too many guys in the league can do that, Kevin.
Baseline J on the way. Up with it. And finished off by Noah.
Coaches are always screaming and glass and try to keep the ball alive.
Well, that's just the tenacity you look for, isn't it, Steve?
And no messing around on the putback either, Kevin. Put it down hard.
Evans kicks to Hickson. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got his 4th assist in this one. Evans against Rose. Right side Rose. Another one falls for Chicago.
That's what a good solid screen will do for you. Get you a good look at the hoop.
Evans against Rose. Shoots from the baseline. It's hauled in by Noah. Noah's got 7 rebounds in the game. Rose dishes to Deng. Back to Rose. Takes it up. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And it's an 8-point Bulls lead.
It's been all about ball movement here. Great passing.
Yeah, anytime you've got an unselfish team, the ball will find the open play.
Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Boston. Long way to go still in the season, but even so, they've got the top spot. And checking out Chicago, a game and a half away.
You know, for the Bulls, they've not been able to maintain the same intimidation factor that they had last season. Still not a team you look forward to playing, though. But there's just something a little bit awry.
Yeah, but Clark, the NBA season is so long that it's easy to turn these things around as long as you keep grinding away. And this is a team that has a lot of talent. So I wouldn't be shocked if this whole thing came together for them.
I'm only 3-2, dude. Seriously.
Over Boozer. The shot's good from Hayes. Hayes has got his first points of the night.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
Sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
And that one's good, Boozer.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
Evans kicks to Cousins.
A sheep.
I think the lead they've built here, guys, is in large part due to what they've done on the boards.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a +10 advantage in rebounds, and they've been in total control of the backboard.
Rose against Evans. And Rose picks him up defensively. Cousins. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Cousins has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, it was a tough year for the Kings last season, but they do have a nice collection of young talent. When you look at Tyreek Evans, DeMarcus Cousins, Marcus Thornton, who made a nice impact as well.
He passes to Butler. Outside Rose. Lets the 3 fly. Cannot hit. And the Kings the other way. Steve, back to what you mentioned, to have that much talent in Cousins and Tyreek Evans, Clark, you just hope it pans out.
Well, again, I think it will. I mean, you've got 2 nice pieces to build around. Marcus Thornton is a pretty nice scorer. They've got some other players, Thompson out there. So they've got some guys that can make it happen. It's a matter of them growing and coming together. And when you've got a bunch of young players, it's one of the hardest things to give them the time to ferment and come together. So we'll see what happens.
From outside the arc, Hamilton can't get that one to fall. The Kings trailed by 3. Evans passes to Cousins. Out of bounds. And they retain possession. Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for a Sheik. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. And it's Deng in for Butler. And then for Sacramento, J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Cousins. Thornton comes in for Chuck Hayes. And Thomas subbed in for Tyreek Evans. Gibson with the steal.
That's such a tough catch when the ball is coming from that far away.
The 3. They get it back. The kick out to Rose. Now Thomas defending. The second chance effort. Rose.
Ooh, Derek.
Rose has got 10 points in the game.
You know, nice work getting inside that time. I mean, that's the spot where his height advantage is really going to pay off for him, and he used it.
From deep, Thornton gets it to go.
Well, that's a quality look there. The defense a bit late.
And 2 straight now from long range, putting up points in a hurry, Clark.
Outside Rose. Hamilton outside. Here's Deng. Again, the miss by Deng. Now, here's Thomas. Thornton dishes to Hickson. And the pass to Thomas. Covered by Hamilton. Up in time. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far.
All right, it's too close.
Now
Put this
let's
away.
check in with Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, and it's the Bulls with the Sprite Spark in this one. There have been no missteps along the way, and they have shown great heart and hustle so far. It's been a big factor as to why they're in the position to win this thing. Guys?
Thanks again, Doris. Here is Watson. So with Boozer on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. It's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and the 5. Watson out there with Ronnie Brewer, and it's Deng in at the 3 slot. Here's Watson, sinks the triple. Watson's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Bulls. The Kings trail by 5. Now here's Evans, dishes to Thornton. Cousins working on Noah. And Cousins kicks to Evans. Clock at 6. He's covered by Watson. And it's Evans missing.
And the fadeaway was about his only option there. Really good defensive position.
Deng against Evans. Evans against Deng. Tries again. Shot's good by Gibson. And it's a 7-point Bulls lead.
They keep pounding them on the glass here in this one. Just a tremendous job rebounding the ball.
Well, that's half the battle. When you go after it every single time, it's a mindset. Never assume the shot's going in. You gotta always assume the shot's gonna come off the rim and it's gonna be yours.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, I was able to hear what Keith Smart had to say to his team. He was not at all satisfied with their effort level, saying, "We're losing the hustle plays and all the 50-50 balls. We simply can't win that way. We've got to get after it." Let's see how they respond, Kevin.
Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. And here's what the Chicago Bulls schedule is looking like. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Washington, where they'll face the Wizards. Here's Fredette. He's picked up by Deng. Now, here is Fredette. He's guarded closely. Rebounded by Rose.
I think he caught the defense off balance there. But I think he just sort of lost the touch on the release, kind of short-armed it.
Not his forte. I don't really like that shot, and you can tell the defense is just asking him to take it.
And the basket by Thornton. Here's Rose. The 10-footer. That's good. And the Bulls lead by 7.
Looking much more comfortable out on the floor here in the second half.
Fredette with it. Rose gets the reach-in call. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Fredette. The dish to Thornton. He feeds it to Fredette. Shot clock at 6. Thornton against Rose.
Unfortunately, he just has not been able to produce offensively to this point.
Thornton no good.
Just an enormous advantage for them on the boards.
Guys, the key to the lead, to me, has been they've dominated the glass. It's that simple.
Now, here is Fredette. He's covered by Rose. Here's Fredette. And here is Thornton. Nice D from Deng.
Nice job defensively. The rotations were there. They really challenged that shot.
Outside Rose. Thompson comes with the double team. It's a look. Sacramento grabs the miss.
You know, with very little defense there, that's a shot he should be taking and making.
Fredette, and he cruises to the hoop for the layup.
Well, he just does so many things well out there.
A true pro, a professional display he's put on here.
Outside Deng. Gibson with the screen on Salmons. That's good.
No foul?
That's 12 points for Luol Deng.
Well, it wasn't a textbook pick, but he still managed to score. Good concentration on the finish.
Timeout called by the Kings. Chicago making some changes. Boozer comes in for Josh Gibson. And Richard Hamilton is subbed in for Ronnie Brewer. Then for the Kings, Cousins comes in for Jason Thompson. And Tyreek Evans subbed in for Fredette. Here's Salmons. He's picked up by Deng. Passes to Evans. Backing down is Hickson. Ball deflected. The Bulls leading by 9. Hamilton kicks it to Noah. Outside Rose. Salmons covering. Just 4 to shoot. With the clock winding down, Hickson grabs the ball.
Well, I guess they can get them when they need them. That's a good job of getting to the miss.
Thornton. And the running layup is good. Thornton's got 4 points this quarter.
You know, he's not going to make a mistake when he gets in tight. That's a good hoop there.
And here comes Rose. Outside Deng. Hickson against Boozer. Hickson covering. And that one's good. Boozer. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. They trail by 9. 1:11 left in the fourth quarter. You know, Clark, they've been out-rebounded by a big margin here tonight.
Yeah, but still it's a close game, Kevin. It all comes down to maybe just a handful of plays here.
Now Evans. Salmons. He's covered by Deng. Evans kicks to Cousins. Working on Noah. No good from Cousins.
Well, it's unfortunate, but he just is not a dependable, consistent finisher, especially if a defense is right there in front of him.
Thornton against Rose. With some arc. Rebound by the Kings.
He lost his focus there, guys. That's a shot he should make.
.36 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And this is where you just start picking apart the defense, and now you take their confidence away. You can really take control of this game.
It's stolen by Rose. Chicago with the ball. 9.
Good. Wow. Man, that's going to do it. I mean, this thing is pretty much over. They've played well.
Well, it has been a bit anticlimactic the end of the game, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
Here's Evans.
That's how you end the game right there.
Straight up. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That's on Joakim Noah. He misses the free throw. Sinks the second, and that brings them within 10. Here comes Rose. Here's Deng. No good. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Luol Deng.
Nice. First one.
Take another minute just to give everybody a movie never seen a hitter with another. Let me get up everybody that be moving with. On your mark, so you ready? Wow. Okay, here we go again. You see the wind blowing in. I'm like a mangling the wind, and I'm mangling the beat. Call me Dracula. Then you see the thing going in. Wow.
Alright, not too bad, not too bad. I'll take it. Yeah, we didn't really go crazy on that one. Rose at 16, but Deng 12, 8, yeah. Good game, I'll take it. Alright, thanks for watching.